Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel, and today we're going to be going into one of the websites I purchased a lot of items for the Camaro. So I'm still waiting on a lot of components. So as far as all the suspension and everything, like there are 3 websites I ordered stuff from. We're going to start off with the Summit Racing one. The other 2 are Camaro specific websites, so that's where my coilovers, my A-arms, my caster camber plates, lower control arms, all of that stuff came from. So I have like a third of what I ordered from them. It's just taking time because a lot of those parts are built as necessary. So I have like half of the front suspension stuff and half of the rear, not even. So I'll still be making videos on those components, kind of sharing the information and specs of them and all of that. And then we'll be doing install videos once everything comes in. But today we're going to be focusing on the Summit Racing products that I purchased. And this is more along the lines, it's not specific to 82 to 92 Camaros. It's really if you've just rebuilt an engine or you just did a swap in a car and it's a fresh rebuild. And these are items that I want to carry on me, not just for the break-in period, but for further on down the road, just in case I run into any issues. So I have all of the things that I'm going to need for the break-in, as well as spare parts, because I don't want to have to run to an auto parts store later on down the road and be like, I can't say it's for an 85 Camaro, because a lot of the items on this car aren't specific to the vehicle, like custom belts, hoses, wires. A lot of that's custom, so I can't just go into this auto parts store and ask for those things. So I like to keep a supply on me or in my garage, so if I ever run into an issue I can replace it and then order a new one if I ever have to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you everything that I ordered, and these are going to be the items for the break-in period and just backup parts. So stay tuned, and if you guys enjoy, please make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts, and as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Let's get into this. Don't mind the mess over here. It's kind of like overflow until I get started working on this thing. So I'll just kind of bring you in. So up here I have a couple cases of ATF for the transmission. I have a turbo 350. It's completely drained basically except for the torque converter, so I have 12 quarts here. And then I do have a supply for a fluid swap later on down the road. So besides those ATFs there, I also have a few gallons of coolant. Then I have the Valvoline Vr1 10W30 racing oil. It's a high zinc, as you can see here. Right now I have the Royal Purple break-in oil in it, so we'll be using that for the break-in period and first warm up and everything, and then I'll do an oil change on it, drive it for probably 100 to 300 miles and change it again, and then I'll have my first actual run oil, and we'll see how long I decide to keep that in for, just depending on how it looks after the warm-up and how it looks after the 100 to 300 mile break-in. And then I have my Lucas gear oil 80W90. That is going to be for my rear end. I have enough to do at least 2 changes. I am running a True Track, so it's not necessary to do a break-in, but I'm still going to, just to really check up on it to make sure everything's mating, the way it's supposed to. Then I have some Lucas oil synthetic brake fluid .3. Then that's really the fluids that I'm going to be needing for the initial start and everything in the first 1,000 miles, all the fluids that I'll need. Besides that, I have a couple of spare Royal Purple oil filters, because I have a sandwich plate, because I have a couple sensors mounted above my filter, so I couldn't use a stock filter with the sandwich adapter. So that is the one that works well for me, so I have a couple spares of those. I have 2 spare sets of spark plugs, which I'm running the R44Ts. Then I also have a couple spare thermostats. I have a 180 degree, I believe 180 degree is what I have in there right now. Then I also have a 160 degree thermostat And then I also have a couple of spare, this is a GM product, or genuine GM coolant temp sensor, because the Phytech has a common issue with the coolant temp sensor being garbage, so a lot of people just swap them out. So if you guys are running the Phytech, and I'm not even going to worry about running the Phytech coolant sensor, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to put one of these in, so I don't have to worry about it anyways from the start. So there is the number 153-26386, or the 213-928. And then I have a spare belt because it is a custom length as well. Then I have a couple of spare radiator hoses. I have a couple of upper ones. This was the one that was previously on it. This is a new one, and a new one because the actual diameter of the radiator is a different diameter than the stock radiator, so I have a custom hose for that as well. I have a whole nother set of MSD 8.5 spark plug wires, just in case one of mine melts or I have an issue with any of them, I can quickly make up my own. Some of the other products that I picked up was this multi-use transfer pump. This is going to be used, I'm probably going to use this to help siphon the fuel tank once I drop it, because it definitely needs new fuel in it. I can't run the fuel from 5 years ago. I'm also going to be using it to do the gear oil in the rear end. And then I also have the Optima 400 battery charger slash maintainer. I'll be doing a separate video on that as well. I am running a Optima red top. Then I picked up the digital timing light from Innova. This is like they have four, I believe, four primary timing lights, and this is like the second from the top. I didn't need to spend, you know, $200 on a timing light. I don't use them all that often, but I don't want to be borrowing one anymore, so I picked up my own. This one's nice because it has a RPM readout, so I don't have to necessarily have somebody in the car holding it at 2,500 RPMs to get my timing reading, you know, after everything's fully in. And then it'll actually show you, you know, the degrees and all of that. So really nice little timing light. We'll do a video on it as well. Then I also picked up this ABN coil spring compressor. I actually already have a video on it. That was picked up from Amazon. But I have the Arrow Catch performance panel fasteners, the hood latches basically. These are locking ones made in the UK. A lot of good reviews. I like the flush mount. I don't want to have a pin. Since the car is going to be wrapped, I don't want to have a pin slapping the hood, or a quick pin, you know, tie or cable slapping the hood, scratching it or anything. So I went this route because they're locking and they're a flush mount, and there's a lot of good reviews on them. So that's what I'll be installing. We'll have a video alone installing these into a fiberglass hood, so stay tuned for that. So those are the items that I picked up from Summit Racing. A lot of fluids for the break-in, like I stated before, and a lot of backup parts like the belts, hoses, sensors, filters, all of that good stuff. And then I also picked up some tools like the timing light that I really need. The Optima battery charger or maintainer is a nice touch because I've had the battery in here for over a year and it's at about 11 volts. So it's definitely going to need put on the charger, but I'll do a video review on it. And if there's any questions that you guys have on any of the other parts or products that I purchased in this video, please feel free to drop a comment down below. But we will have a video coming soon. We'll have a video coming soon of some of the other parts that I ordered that are going to be installed. I'll do an in-depth review on all of those products before we install them, so stay tuned for that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please, once again, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you guys have any questions or anything. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. See you guys next time.